Nomads World, Season 4, Episode 6, More Than a Builder. The morning began with laughter, not because something funny had happened, but because someone had already found Porky. Porky! A voice echoed across the village. We need another beam. Porky looked over his shoulder. I'm eating. It'll still be there when you're done. I know, but this berry won't. Daniel laughed so hard he nearly dropped his breakfast. You become popular. Porky shrugged. I just carry things? Daniel smiled. No, they asked for you. By mid-morning, construction was moving faster than anyone expected. The Mystery Hollow was beginning to look like a real home. The curved doorway had been shaped. The roof supports were nearly finished. Windows had been carved to welcome the morning light. Porky stepped back. That looks good. Daniel nodded. It does. Cliff overheard them. It looks good because somebody keeps volunteering for every hard job. Porky smiled. I like building. Cliff nodded. It shows. Across the village, Rain and Chip walked toward the berry patches with several younger children. One little boy struggled to carry an empty basket. Rain knelt beside him. Too heavy? The boy nodded. Chip smiled. We'll share it. The boy's face brightened. As the children hurried ahead, Rain glanced at Chip. You've changed. Chip looked surprised. Have I? You used to race everybody. I still do. Rain smiled. But now, you slow down for the little ones. Chip watched the children laughing ahead. I guess Dad rubbed off on me. Rain smiled. I think so. Meanwhile, inside one of the older hollows, the elders continued discussing leadership. No vote had been taken. No announcement had been made. They simply watched. One elder looked toward the builders outside. Look at them. Another nodded. They organize themselves. But when something important happens, they still look toward Tim. An older woman quietly said, people don't follow titles. A moment passed. They follow trust. The others quietly nodded. Outside, Daniel measured another support beam. Porky looked over his shoulder. Looks short? It isn't. It looks short. Daniel measured again. He frowned. It's short. Porky grinned. I knew it. Daniel looked at him. You guessed. I guessed correctly. That still annoys me. Both laughed. A few moments later, Susie arrived carrying fresh bread for the workers. She looked toward the unfinished hollow. It's changing every day. Porky smiled proudly. We're getting close. She looked around the doorway. Whoever lives here, they're going to love it. Porky nodded. I hope so. Tim happened to hear those words. For just a moment, he looked away so neither of them would notice the smile on his face. Later that afternoon, a sharp crack echoed through the trees. Everyone looked up. One of the older walkways had begun to sag. Before panic could spread, Tim was already moving. Nobody cross it! Builders rushed forward. Cliff grabbed fresh rope. Daniel reached for support poles. Without waiting for instructions, Porky hurried beneath the sagging bridge. Go! I'll hold it. Daniel stared down at him. That's a terrible idea. It's working. It won't work forever. It only has to work long enough. Tim secured another support. Cliff tightened the ropes. Together, the bridge slowly settled back into place. The danger had passed. Tim looked down. You can come out now. Porky crawled from beneath the bridge covered in bark dust. Daniel couldn't help laughing. You look like a squirrel hiding under there. Porky brushed himself off. I prefer Hero. Rain called from the bridge. I vote squirrel. Even Tim laughed. As evening settled, the workers rested together. No speeches, no ceremonies, just tired friends sharing supper after a long day's work. Daniel looked toward Porky. You know, you never ask who's watching. Porky looked confused. What do you mean? When something goes wrong, you just help. Porky shrugged. I don't really think about it. Daniel smiled. I know. Not far away, the oldest elder had witnessed everything. He quietly turned toward the others. Watch the young ones. The others followed his gaze. They're becoming who the next generation will follow. One elder nodded. Because of Tim. The oldest elder gently shook his head. No, because Tim taught them how to follow each other. That night, Tim stood outside the unfinished Mystery Hollow. Moonlight filtered softly through the branches above. The home was beginning to feel lived in. Even though no one had moved inside, Cliff joined him. They're asking fewer questions. Tim smiled. They trust us. Cliff looked toward the doorway. He still thinks he's building a home. Tim rested his hand on the unfinished frame. He is. After a long silence, he just doesn't know whose. The two stood quietly beneath the great oak. The unfinished hollow waited in the moonlight, patiently. If you're enjoying the journey, like, subscribe, and share. Welcome to RC Best, where stories and ideas come alive. Don't miss the next chapter. Every episode reveals another piece of the world.